Robotire.
All right, thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Victor Dorolfi. I'm the CEO and founder of Robotire. It's a pleasure to meet everyone today. Just a quick background on myself. I've been building robotic and automation work cells for the past 12 years for the likes of Tesla, SpaceX, Apple, Intel, Zoom Pizza, CafeX, name it, and I've made these industrial robots do crazy things. While I was in the process of selling my first company, I had to go get new tires for my wife's SUV, and I sat at America's Tire for 3 hours, hated every minute of it, and thought there had to be something better. So that was the formation of Robotire. But our belief is that eventually we're going to automate all vehicle maintenance, and we sell these to service centers via lease model, or a RAS if you want to call it. Next slide, please. And the reason why we chose tires is because they're forever, right? They're consumable. They're on the tiniest little bot to big rigs. We already have tremendous traction from some of the big players in the industry from the commercial side. We're live in an auto garage in San Carlos. We're going to probably deploy 10 more systems this year. Now, as far as where we are from the Air Force side, we won a phase 1. We're waiting on a phase 2 grant to deploy at Travis Air Force Base. And we're in talks with a few of the other bases to bring this in to help the airmen. So jump right into it. This is a video of our robots in action at our garage. You can mute it. You don't have to full marketing sound. So the reason why we chose to go into the service industry, it's because of the lack of technicians. So, a kid driving is a choice, right? You can drive an Uber, flip a burger, or change the tires. He's going to pick the first two before he changes tires because they're very tedious, heavy, and time consuming. So that's why we brought out this Robotire system. So what you'll see here is it's a completely automated bay. We have our own automated lift that will pick up the robot or pick up the car. We have 2 little robots that are responsible for moving lug nuts. We use computer vision to identify and detect where the lug nuts are. We're monitoring torque, breakaway, and run-up torque to detect cross-threading, prevent cross-threading, preventing seized lug nuts, et cetera, et cetera. And then our larger robots come in, and again, with computer vision, detect where that wheel is, ensure we get no stud damage, comes off. And then in the next video, you'll see in a second, is our integration with Hunter Engineering. The tire actually demounts the tire and balances the tire. And then we bring it back on and put it back on the tire. All of these robots are unique from an automation perspective because they're all cloud computing. They're not single siloed. We pull from predetermined databases. We all pull from vehicle OEM information. So that's how we get torque values and wheelbase, stud lengths, et cetera, et cetera. And this should be wrapping up in a second, and we'll jump in to the next video. So this video is really interesting because Hunter is the biggest player in this space. And what we do is we have an industry first where our robots actually control their systems. So for people who are familiar with Hunter, what you'll see is that our robots, we have an open API. We can actually work with any tire changer and balancer, but you'll see here where we go into our own Robotire mode, and it's completely autonomous now, lowering spindle, putting new tire on, new tire prep, et cetera, et cetera. So you see here, we dropped the spindle. This is some of our earlier versions where we did have a little bit of human operation. And this will go, the human is still used for deflating and inflating. I can go into the tire process later, but to not bore you, I won't jump into it fully. And again, these systems are completely autonomous. While this goes, I always fun question to ask, but no one's going to respond right now, is what everyone thinks the tire market is. And most people are off by a factor of 10. It's $40 billion is what we spend on new tires alone each year. And that market is getting better. And I'll address why it's getting better in a few seconds. So you're just finishing up here of inflating of the tire, and then it'll go over to the balancer. So you can stop the video in lieu of moving forward. Next slide, please. That's just our financial projections. We grow very quickly. You can jump over this one. Again, like I said, we do a rev share, so we charge $10 per tire. And like I said, this industry is getting better. So go back one slide, please. Electric vehicles actually burn through tires faster because of the weight and torque. And then with the increase in fleet demand, we're driving more miles. And then what I'll show you at the very end is what we've deemed the gas station of tomorrow. So next slide, please. So again, our vision is that robots perform all basic maintenance. Jump to the very end. Last slide. That's me and Will. Oh, one back, sorry. So this is our gas station of the future at that mod, where we can build this in shipping containers. We drop them on base, in parking lots, wherever Amazon fleets are, and it can be a completely autonomous service bay. And that is it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Victor. Any questions from the panel?
Yes, Victor, you mentioned the market for tires in the 40 billion. You have any breakdown as it is to tire maintenance, or is that just tire cost?
That is what we spend on new tire purchase per year. That's just rubber. As far as, and that will go in for passenger vehicle, light trucks, OTR, big rigs and farm. There's big categories right there. The labor side of it is probably another 20 billion that they spend in labor. From the auto service side, it's close to 535 billion in like when you classify all auto maintenance.
And these, what's the cost of one of these machines at a service center?
So we do it where we just do it as a rev share. So depending on the volume of tires they do, it could be as low as, $1,000 a month, as high as $30,000 a month.
Can it do anything else besides change or service maintenance tires?
Right now, the system does tire changes, 1 or 4 tires. One thing I guess I forgot to say is we can do a set of 4 tires in 10 minutes. It normally takes a human 60 right now. So we get down to 10 minutes. We can do tire changes, tire rotations, and then full assembly swaps. As the system sits now, this year we're bringing out cleaning of rotors, underbody scan, and wheel alignment. And all that will happen this year.
Cool. Interesting.
Great presentation, Victor. Thanks for sharing this. I'm curious who your competition is in this space and where you guys are defending your moat.
Yeah, so right now there's no one else building robots in our space. There's 2 ways we look at competition. We pitch convenience for the consumer, right? We help the shops pitch that. So their biggest competitor would be a mobile tire mechanic, essentially. Those economics don't work. Our advisor is a mobile mechanic CEO, so they won't touch tires. And then as far as defensibility, like we have our system already patented. There's only so many ways to get a tire on and off a vehicle. We have 4 additional patents coming, and then working with the big boys like a Discount Tire, Costco's of the world. Those are between our top 5 customers we have. It's roughly about 5,000 service centers across the US. That's a big number to get into.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey, Victor, great presentation. What's next for the company after tires?
Brakes, and then so we're doing brakes next, which is why we're doing alignments, and then we're going into big rigs. So this year we're going to bring out a solution to do semi-truck tires. We have one unified platform to do a Prius or big rig.
Great, thanks.
Amazing. Thank